The 1919 Boston Police Strike Project aims to fill in one of these worksheets for every one of the more than 1,100 men who participated in the Boston Police Strike on September 9, 1919. In this course, you will be guided in systematically going through the process of filling in a bio worksheet for one man, Martin J. Lyons, who participated in the 1919 Boston Police Strike. The bio worksheet may look complicated at first glance, but it breaks down into pretty sensible sections that should help you to organize and confirm the validity of your biographical research. At the top of each bio worksheet is, let's go to the top of the worksheet, there are 3 rows of boxes that record information about the research process and about the researcher, you. It's very important that the starting researcher fill in his or her name and email in the Stage 1 row, and then once the worksheet is ready for submittal, the researcher will add some general notes in the Starter's Notes box about what couldn't be found in that first round of research for the next reviewer to read and act upon. A worksheet also contains a header section pre-populated with what we call the starting information. This is the information that the project staff provide you with to kickstart your research. That is, the name of the officer being researched, his police department division, his initial appointment date, and a link to the original duty card from the Boston Police Department, where a lot of the starting information came from. We use the officer's name, the 1919 street address, and occupation to track down additional information. These are the foundation of our research, the starting planks. Beneath the starting information is the navigation menu bar. On a PC, if you hold down the Control key while clicking on a menu item, the screen will jump down to that row in the worksheet. This makes it much easier to move around. Once you've arrived at a row, there is a link in the first cell that will jump you back up to this navigation menu bar. The main body of the bio worksheet consists of many rows, which we call planks. These are the building blocks for the striker's biographical profile. Each row or plank focuses on one category of information, whether it's World War I draft registration information, or census information from the 1910 through the 1940 censuses, birth, marriage, death information, and more. You will see that the first 2 planks, if we go back to the top, the first 2 planks, 1 and 2, are already filled in for you. And that is because this information comes from the Boston Police Department duty card and from a municipal directory called the Officials and Employees of the City of Boston in 1919 that gives each officer's 1919 address. This is the starting information that we mentioned, and the future planks build upon this information that we know for sure about Martin J. Lyons or of the other officers who went out on strike. The worksheet also has 8 columns that label the information that we seek for each row or plank. The leftmost column of the worksheet is called the Data Item column, and it tells you what kind of information you'll be looking for in this row, and sometimes tells you what sources you might use to find it, and perhaps a tip about pertinent information about each row. The next 6 columns are basically empty, awaiting the data that you will uncover in your research. Each of these planks will be covered in great detail in Part 2 of this course. Each cell in the worksheet contains the information related to the column heading for that row. It's the intersection of the column and the row. Researching and entering the contents of these cells will also be explained in depth in Part 2 of the course, which is called Researching the Planks. For now, simply note that the blank worksheet will provide some guiding text for the cells in each row. And in the Specific Info column, you'll always see a list of the specific data points that you should fill in for that plank. These are the data points that we are collecting for the project. For instance, in the World War I draft registration plank, the specific information we're looking for is the World War I era draft address, birth date on the draft card, birthplace, occupation, contact name, contact relationship. So you can see how that looks on the blank worksheet here, and this is what it would look like filled in after the research has been done and the draft registration card has been located. So that is basically it for an overview, a bird's eye view of the worksheet. We hope that you enjoy using it as a tool to organize your research.